Hi, welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. It's a beautiful Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
And I have with me today Andrea and Jan, just the three amigos today.
Yep.
But we won't be lonely because we have three different guests coming in today. First, we're
Great.
going to talk with, in just a minute, we're going to talk with Sarah Artson from Job Service, and she's joining us from West Fargo. And we will have Dan the Tree Cashman from Cashman Nursery. And also, if he can make it in time, Coach Rod Miller to talk about Bucks football.
All right.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. So I hope he can make it in time. He's torn in a lot of different directions all at once. So first, I want to welcome Sarah Artson, and she is the Communications Officer with Job Service of North Dakota. Thank you for coming to the show today.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
We have an unusual problem here in North Dakota. More jobs than there are people showing up for interviews, but there's a little bit of a twist on this time around, that there seems to be a lot of people that are still getting unemployment, and so it's easier not to get a job right now if they're collecting that kind of payment. But technically, you need to make contacts with at least 3 different employers, potential employers, a week. And so the poor employers around here are having 50 to 100% no-shows when they set up interviews. Sarah, tell us what's going on here.
So we have heard from a wide variety of employers from across the state that they are experiencing difficulty getting people to come in for interviews. They're getting lots of people applying for jobs. They're getting people setting up interviews, but they're just not showing up for those interviews. And this is something that isn't new necessarily, but we have recently set up a portal on our website where employers can log in to report these no-shows, because it is taking an awful lot of time and effort away from their work days to set up these interviews and meet potential new hires. And it's really frustrating and disappointing when they're getting so many no-shows.
And this is new, right? You have never had this level of no-shows before, am I correct?
Not that I'm aware of. In the past, they've always been able to report this sort of thing, but they've had to call in and do it during business hours. And we've heard from so many of them that we just put a portal on our website where they can access the reporting system 24/7 so that they don't have to take time out of their workday to stay on hold with us.
Right, and here's the website. And it'll show, I know I went and took a look at it today. So on your home page, there's a place you can click to report unemployment fraud. And you don't know necessarily that it is unemployment fraud, but you can report names of no-shows and leave the rest to the investigators to see, are they sitting back and collecting unemployment, claiming they're looking for work, but not really showing up for any interviews, right?
Yeah. So employers can log on to our site at jobsnd.com, and you'll see that yellow stripe that was just across the top of the page. And that's actually on our homepage and also on every other page of our site. So it's very easy to find. We have had about 286 reports so far from employers. So we know that people are using this tool. Yeah.
I know this isn't just unique to North Dakota, but the reasons behind it might vary. I saw in Florida, there's a McDonald's that has a help wanted sign up, and you get a $50 bonus for showing up for your interview. All you have to do is show up. Now, that could end up in a whole nother level of people taking advantage of the system. I got my 50 bucks, thank you very much, I guess I'm not interested. But that just shows you how desperate some employers are.
Yeah, there's a lot of desperation out there. I also have heard that report about the McDonald's offering the money to appear at an interview. I do want to point out that, this is completely voluntary for employers to report, and not everybody they report probably will be receiving unemployment assistance, and that's fine. There's no harm, no foul there because there's nothing illegal about no showing for a job interview. But If people who are on unemployment assistance are doing that, that's where the problem comes in. So if they report a name to us and it is not somebody who's currently on unemployment, nothing's going to happen. But if that employer reports a name to us and it is somebody who's collecting unemployment, that's going to trigger an investigation. And I want to be really clear that nobody's benefits are going to be automatically shut off, but it will trigger an investigation. We will get a hold of them and maybe ask them to explain their side of the story and take it from there.
And I have to think that most people are like us. If you show up for work every day, you're going to be resentful of people staying home and just collecting government money and not even trying. We have, as long as we have you here from Job Service, we have questions. For instance, Andrea, we were having a lively debate in the dressing room before the show.
Boy, I could get really fired up. So, so one of the things that I've run into or seen as a challenge is some people who have a lot of experience and the jobs everyone thinks are there really aren't there. So my husband in particular, he's in IT. He's been unemployed for over a year now. He's no longer on unemployment assistance because he no longer qualifies. So there's a lot that's changed, but it feels like it's such a struggle in an industry that has been highlighted as we need more young people going into technology, going into IT, and yet we have people with years of experience in IT who aren't finding these jobs. So it kind of feels like a myth when that's what we see. Are there really these jobs?
I'm sorry to talk over you. I can tell you that there are about 16,000 openings on our website right now, and they cover a wide variety of skills and abilities and educational requirements. There's about 20,000 people right now actively collecting unemployment in North Dakota. We're never going to get those two numbers to jive perfectly just because the level of training that people have may not always correlate perfectly to the number of jobs that are there. So actually what we're encouraging people who are looking for a job to do is see if there's any way that you can add some new skills to your resume. There's lots of employers out there hiring that are offering paid training or maybe incentivizing with some help to send people back to school for jobs. So the reason that it might seem like there's nothing out there is that there might not be something that perfectly aligns with your skills and abilities right now. But if you can be flexible and be eager to learn something new, it's a job seekers market. There are many, many jobs out there.
That actually aligns with something that I told a young friend of mine who was looking at an application or a job description that she was interested in, but she figured she could maybe do about 80% of the work and the other 20% was outside of her skill set. I'm like, go for it, please, because you can pick up and if you can pick those pieces up, and if you're not striving for something harder, then your only direction you're going to go is down.
Absolutely,
Sarah,
you should keep reaching.
Do you have job counselors? And we only have 30 seconds left, but are there job counselors and people that if somebody came in that you could help them with their skills or match things up?
Absolutely. We have 9 workforce centers across the state of North Dakota. They're all open by appointment right now. Mondays we're closed because we have a high volume of telephone calls on Mondays, but Tuesday through Friday you can get a hold of anybody in 9 places across the state. You can look up that information at jobsnd.com.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you here, Sarah Arnston. And we'll probably be in touch with you again down the road to see how the job situation is panning out.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back with Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county. Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
Hop in the rig and go down the road with me. We'll cover local and national stories that impact you. What happens with national debt? Does anybody even care anymore? Do you think Governor Burgum truly understands the legislative process?
You know, I think he's got a better understanding now than he did 2 years ago.
Why in the world are we having a conversation about being anti-vaccination? Down the road with Joel Heitkamp weekdays at 5:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Pub 21, your one stop for fun, drinks, and food. Our spacious facility provides COVID-safe fun for you and all your friends. With nightly bingo and specials, you can be sure there's something to do for everyone. If you're staying in for the night, we've got you covered just across the way with Pub 21 Liquor. We have a wide variety of options, from wine to whiskey and everything in between. Stop in today at 1014 South 12th Street in Bismarck to see what all the buzz is about. You won't be disappointed.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck, and we have with us Dan Cashman. If you're in Bismarck, I can't imagine you not having seen or heard Dan Cashman, because you are all over the place on the airwaves. In your nursery. He's the owner of Cashman Nursery.
Mm-hmm.
You have 6 children.
Yep, I
all
do.
Grown.
3 of them live here and 3 of them live in other states.
And we are, even though we're real open to any kind of advice you're going to give us on lawn and garden, but first, we're going to continue our topic on the difficulty of finding employees. And there may be some that are collecting unemployment and setting up interviews and not showing up. What are you finding right now? Because this is usually your busy time. It's starting out, right?
Oh, yeah. Usually by now, the end of April, we have maybe 30 to 35 working. We send out about 110 to 120 W-2s every year at the end of the year, or end of January. And it's been harder this year to find people. I don't know if it's because a lot of them that were on unemployment are were getting $300 more, you know, added to their unemployment check, or if they got the $600 stimulus or the $1,200 or the $1,400. I mean, everybody got that, right? But, you know, you can't live on that for long. But it definitely, in my mind, took away a lot of incentive to work. Mm-hmm. And it's harder this year. I mean, I can drive across town from the nursery to where I live in Highland Acres, exactly 4 miles, and I can count usually going in any direction 8, 10 signs out that says now hiring or help wanted. And it's not just fast food places. It's you know, unemployment rate has been low here for the last 6 or 7 years, but it's a little tougher this year. And you know, we get people from other countries, which, you know, we've had them and have some maybe now from Guatemala, Nicaragua, Haiti, Africa, Puerto Rico, Mexico. And there are some Mexicans that have worked for us for years that live here year-round. But there were some years where when the oil boom was really on and starting, you know, 8, 9, 10 years ago, it was really roaring, we had many foreign people coming, Hispanics especially. And but they're not always coming anymore now. I don't know. But you know, we had to make sure they were legal and all that. But but there's plenty of work, and of course we're seasonal. So we put on a lot of people in, you know, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Then when it starts getting colder, some of the people that like or come from the warmer climates want to go back home, or maybe go back to Vegas where they worked in the winter, and they come here when it's too hot and work for us, whether they're doing shingles or sprinklers or whatever in Nevada or Arizona. So, but we get seasonal people, and they can make money if they come. I mean, you know, the pay is good if they work. It just depends on experience and what they can do. I mean, if they can operate a Bobcat, or, you know, we train them, but we don't want to start over every time. Like my brothers that are in this business always have said, when you hire somebody new, you're starting over. But, you know, a lot of people, well, you know, a lot of high school, we don't get a lot of high school, but maybe seniors in high school or so, they need to start somewhere. And of course, we like that because maybe they'll work for us all 4 years of their college if they go on.
And we had a son that worked for you for 2 years, John.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was telling you earlier that our kids didn't get their license until they were 16. They had a permit before that, but they didn't get their license except for John, because he needed it at Cashman Nursery. He was driving a truck here and there.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, fine.
Yeah, he was good.
You need it for work, yeah. And so he worked there. Then he went to waiting tables, which he still does.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Up at college. So let's talk about the value of having kids work. It's more, I know not all kids need to work.
Yep.
But I see families who want their kids to work, and it's not about need, but it's about the skills and the value of work.
Yeah, and I always call it skin in the game, where they've got part of the action. If they're working, and let's say they're trying to buy their first car or pickup or a stereo or whatever they call them nowadays, I'm not sure, an iPhone, you know, when they have to pay for part of it or some of it, they take care of it better, and they value things more, and instead of just having it handed to them. And, you know, we all spoil our kids, we all spoil our grandchildren. I guess that's what grandparents are for, I'm not sure.
Amen.
And I love my grandchildren. I've got 9 of them. They all live in town, but I call them house wreckers when they come over. But we have to clean the house, then they come, and then you have to clean the house. But it's okay. Like I said,
get it.
I love
Yep,
them.
I hear you.
Yeah,
Understood.
you know. But you know, when they have to, like if they want to get a new set of skis or whatever, or go on to Votech school or college, if they've got to pay for some of it, I do think they study harder. They value it more because they're part of it now, you know.
So I've got a couple job seekers in my family, one with many years of experience in technology, actually, but finding a tech job isn't the first thing that's out there right now. So, and then the other end of the spectrum, I've got teenagers who are trying to figure out what their first jobs are going to be. And so I guess one of my questions is, what's your ideal employee for the summer season? And what does that look like for young people starting out?
Yeah, well, we like to have people that have some enthusiasm, and they don't have to be farm boys, or they don't have to be wrestlers or from a football team. But for instance, when I had a job in Sidney, Montana about 5 or 6 years ago, it was a big, huge job. I went out and met the principal of the school and the football coach and the wrestling coach, and I said, they don't all have to be athletes, but you know, when they go off for sports or do other extracurricular activities in school, they, you know, when they participate like that, they're usually, if you hire a busy person, they'll stay busy. Like they say, if you want to get something done, call a busy man or woman. But so we like to, you know, it's good if they've got some experience, but even if they don't, you know, they need to be, I always tell the new ones, it's okay if all the 10 or 11 women working in the greenhouses, they might look busy, but if you would just please, once in a while, say, is there anything I can do for you? It makes them feel good, and they don't want to do all the lifting and physical work, and I don't ask them to. But basically, we like to have them have a driver's license. We want them to be at least 16. There's limitations on how many hours they can work a week and all that. Sure. And, you know, of course, if we ever find people that have moved here from another city and they've worked for another nursery or maybe even here, if they've got any experience at all, they're worth more to us. And once they're there, let's say a month or 3 weeks or so, and they learn certain things, they're worth more to us. And then we give them raises. We don't want to lose them. We don't want to start over. If they know how to, lay sod, you might say, well, how hard can that be? I mean, it's physical. But, or if they know how to maybe run an edging machine, we teach them all that. But if they come to us and know that, they're worth more right away because they can do more, handle more responsibility. Instead of just having them follow everybody around, you don't really need to chauffeur them around and have them do what everybody else is.
Although I think John learned a lot. You taught him a lot, and he came back the following summer.
Many say the first 2 or 3 weeks, especially even if they're a horticulture graduate from Iowa State, we've had them, University of Minnesota where I went, St. Paul campus or NDSU, and 4 years, a lot of them say after they've worked for us, and I'm not trying to say this the wrong way, but after they've worked for us 3 or 4 weeks, they've learned more, at least practical stuff. The book learning's important.
Hands-on stuff, yep. You got to have that hands-on stuff. We're going to talk more about, we want to get into the nitty-gritty, get our hands dirty and talk about gardening and what we need to know for the season, for the spring, when we come right back with Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single-game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate dedicated connection Beck Fiber.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car!
How will we?
The car! Your offer has been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we?
The closing!
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Billings, your host of The Right Side with Doug Billings on Beck News. We bring you high-profile guests, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive guests. Now, you're not going to see these guests in most of the mainstream media outlets. Another thing that I do here is give guests a platform to speak freely. You're not going to see me censor anybody. Please join us, won't you? Weeknights right here on Beck TV and online at beck.news. Cheers.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck, and we are still here with Dan Cashman, owner of Cashman Nursery. How long have you owned Cashman's?
58 years.
Oh,
58
I started as a teenager.
Congratulations.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I was at your 70th birthday party. It was so much fun because we got the history of the Cashman Nursery.
Well, we had a sock hop. You know, we were back to the 50s and 60s.
It was fun.
Yeah,
we went back in
it was
time.
fun. I almost have it paid for, by the way.
You are a fun guy, Dan.
That sounds like a heck of a party.
No.
I have to believe you're fun to work with, too. So before we move on to some of our questions, our lawn and garden questions, what kind of jobs do you hire for? So
Yeah, that's a good question. So besides the obvious of planting trees and shrubs and installation, there's a lot of potting of trees and shrubs we do. We pot thousands of ornamental shrubs and rose
I'm
bushes.
thinking of the job applicants.
Yep.
Somebody,
And they might not just want to work in the yard. They might not want to go out and dig holes. And they might be older. We always need people in the yard to greet the people and maybe have the younger ones work and kind of supervise them. They might not have to do the actual bending over and potting everything, but the ones that are a third or a fourth my age, they could do that. They could be, we've got a lot of people working in the greenhouses now. That's been going on about a month and a half, 2 months. And we've got lots of annuals and perennials that we've potted and grown. But we always need people in the greenhouse. We always need salespeople. We need people to answer the phone. If we had one person, male or female, that would just sit there and answer the phone,
Oh boy.
I would be very happy to have them there because we get questions all the time. But you know, it'd be good if they could answer questions. But even if they can't, and sometimes I can't, and I say, well, you know, I'll find out. You know, maybe the girls know more about a certain kind of daylily or a daisy or a peony or something. And so, but there's maintenance, there's installation, there's sod, there's driving a tractor and planting, you know, seed. Like it could be somebody that's worked and planted wheat, and they could be in their 60s or 70s. I mean, we've got them all ages.
All right, so whoever you are, there's a place for you. It sounds like at Cashman
Yeah.
Nursery.
Wow.
If you're willing
Plenty
to get
to
your
do.
hands a little dirty every now and then, or maybe a lot. So, okay, how about we probably have a few lawn and garden questions for you too.
Stump Dan.
Well, I have tree rows all around the outside of my property. And on the very outside are the traditional lilacs, the ones that the county planted back in the day.
Sure.
They are very large now. What can I do to make them start blooming more again?
Yeah, okay. Well, one thing that you can do for sure, now, if it's a mile long or something, you might not want to spend a fortune on fertilizer, but remember when you buy fertilizer or use it, there's 3 numbers on the bag or the box, and they stand for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. The first number makes things grow faster and get bigger, and lawn fertilizer is usually high, like 20, 25, 28%, because everybody wants a green lawn and vigorous. The middle number makes the flower buds form. We call it flower bud initiation. So you could buy 46O, which is straight phosphorus. Now, I usually want something, a blend, like maybe it might be low nitrogen, high at the other end, you know, like might be like 5, 15, 5. Or Miracle Grow is 15, 30, 15. That's a liquid thing you hook on the end of the hose and spray the leaves, and the leaves soak it up, and what goes down on the ground, it brings it up. But it causes flowers to form. You could also trim them after they're done blooming. Maybe you want to pick out 1 or 2, or maybe you've got some in your yard. You want to encourage them because they probably haven't been fertilized since they've been planted, unless they're near the end of a row. And I honestly believe if you fertilize trees or shrubs every twice a spring, let's say end of April, middle of June, or before July is over, or maybe you do it every 4 or 5 weeks. You do it now, Memorial Day, in the middle of July. You will be able to make them grow in 3 years, which would take 5 or 6 years to grow. And if you're growing roses, what do you want? Flowers. If you're growing tomatoes, you want the first tomato on the block. You want it to get ripe. You want the red one, because there's a lot of pride out there, and people want to have the nicest yard, the first rose, the biggest tomatoes, the most weird zucchini, or biggest one. You know, don't leave your windows down in the summer. and things like that. So you got to feed them. And of course, we need to water because it's been a little dry. And
Yeah,
they'll probably outlive us all anyway. But you can renew them by trimming them back after they're done blooming, and then they'll bloom next year. And maybe cut some of the 3 or 4 old canes out that were there from 1958 or 62 or whatever it is. Then you'll get some new ones coming in. It'll look younger.
Okay.
Yep. So,
That
but
makes
you can do
sense.
that with shrubs in the yard too, little spireas you've got, or snowball bushes, or red twig dogwoods, or anything.
So given that we've had a drought, do you have any idea what we have to look forward to? Any kind of forecast?
Well, I'm optimistic. Usually until about Mother's Day, which is the 9th this year, this always the second Sunday in May. I remember the last 3 or 4 years, there was a lot of talk about how dry it was, especially in the western part. And we've been lucky the last few years. We got it finally, and we were worried, and maybe it'll still come, you know. But we're getting a little bit at a time. At least in a yard in town, you can water. You know, grasses live pretty good without being watered every week. They can. They'll get duller, and in July and August, they won't grow as much. And if it rains or if you water, it'll come back. It's pretty hard to lose a lawn, but you can. I watch what golf courses do. They water in the morning. They don't usually water at night when the 10 o'clock news is on. They don't want their tee boxes and greens wet all night because then they get fungus diseases. And I don't water my roses and certain things at night because they stay wet all night and then you get black spot. Or in my garden, I don't like to water at night. Now some people do because they say, well, the water doesn't evaporate. I like to water in the morning. I like to mulch. I mulch everything. I mulch my trees so the lawnmower doesn't hit it. I call it toro blight. Toro blight,
Sure.
you know, toro lawnmower.
Yes.
Not a bull. Well, that too. But I like to mulch them. I like to put down even layers of newspaper or black plastic between the rows of my tomatoes and my potatoes and all that to hold the moisture in and block, especially this year, and just in case it doesn't rain, to keep the moisture that we have in there. Of course, cultivating helps because you keep the soil turned over, but sometimes I get lazy and the weeds get ahead of me, and I wish that, you know, I mean, I'll put 7 layers of newspapers down in between the rows, or old seed sacks, or plastic bags or something, and put clods of dirt on to hold the moisture.
So if you've got a lot of, I've got a lot of perennials in a very small lot, what's my spring checklist look like?
Cut them back now, and it's time to start feeding. And again, they'll respond. Even the grasses, the peonies, all the things that bloom. Try to get, it might say bloom builder on the bag. It might say rose food. You don't have to buy something for every different thing. It might say petal power. I mean, there's all these nicknames, but basically it's low nitrogen, high phosphorus, low potash. Potash makes the roots grow deeper and makes the plant more resistant to diseases and problems. The middle number makes them bloom more, and the first number makes them grow faster and get bigger. But so you want, I mean, you could use 10-10-10, which is kind of like us eating a balanced diet. We get our leafy greens, we got our carbohydrates, we get our protein, maybe a little hot fudge sundae afterwards once in a while isn't the worst thing in the world. I do too much of that. But a little treat. But and I like the Miracle Grow, but it's kind of like me having a little Snicker bar around 3 in the afternoon. It's a treat. Not my main diet, but every now and then it's okay. But I think, you know, you got to weed them, you got to feed them, and you got to water them. So, but it's time to cut the roses back and the perennials back and clean them up. And it's time to wash out all your junipers and bushes and shrubs. They're dusty, they're dirty, and I think probably time to start watering the lawn. We're going to see a lot of people out in their yards now.
Yeah, they just like to get outside. We have less than 30 seconds.
Oh.
So with that little bit of time, is there any parting words? Or
well, I wish we could get more help. We're doing okay, but we need another 30. I mean, we've got a lot of work lined up, and people can make money if they want to come out. The plants came through the winter, and our evergreens, no burn.
All right, so we didn't have a tough winter. The
As
plants
dry
are
as
okay.
it was.
So
love it.
Everything's looking good.
Well, thanks for joining us,
Oh,
Dan.
thank you
It's
for
been a
having me. It's
pleasure.
fun.
Yep, and I hope you get
You
lots
do
of
this every
employees
day,
headed
ladies?
your way.
Every day.
Oh, good. It's fun.
We'll be right back with Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Today's households have more digital devices than ever before. More links to family, business, education, and entertainment. Beck Communications spent over 10 years building North Dakota's fastest fiber optic internet service. Beck Lightband Internet, outpacing speeds in large cities nationwide. Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck, and we are excited. We have Coach Rod Miller, coach of the Bucks indoor football. Yay!
How you doing? How you ladies doing today?
Good.
Good.
You don't appreciate how much we appreciate that Rod is here, because he's leaving tonight for Wisconsin, right? Your first game of the season.
Yes, ma'am. Heading to Green Bay. Yes.
Pretty exciting.
Yes.
And he is running with your head cut off, right?
Yeah.
Every
Always.
week
First trip was always all over the place.
And he made time to come here.
Yes, most definitely.
Great. So we want you to be as excited as we are, because we're going to be at the first game. The first home game is May 8th, right?
That is correct. Yes.
At the event center.
At the event center. Yes. At a packed event center. Yes.
Packed event center. Yes. And it's going to be against the Massachusetts Pirates. And everyone should know kids are free if you come with an adult, right?
That is correct. Yes, that's correct.
And
encourage them young.
So what do you think about this weekend's game? You're leaving tonight?
Yeah, we're leaving tonight, and I'm very excited. You know, it's been a long haul with the COVID situation, the season cutting down last year. You know, it's been almost 14 months. So, you know, I remember back then you were like, okay, we'll ever get football back? And now we're here, and it's excited to know that we're about to load the bus and get ready for a game coming up in 2 days. So, you know, we're very excited. You know, just fight through the things you have to fight through with all the different situations going on, but we'll be ready to go come Friday night.
Oh man, when I pack for my family to go on a vacation, I know there's always a list, and there's always things that we forget.
Yes.
What are your things that you just absolutely can't?
Well, the first thing we can't forget is the uniforms. So we got to make sure don't forget those.
That would be a whole different game, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so we have our equipment guy, Dylan. He has a equipment list that we check through and make sure we have everything. I mean, stuff you think of, your uniforms, spare socks, spare towels, extra mouthpieces, shoestrings that you may have in case something breaks during the game. So we do have a detailed list of stuff that we have to make sure that we pack and ready to load on that bus tonight.
You sound like you're part mom, part coach. Is that true?
Always. Always doing something, so I always stand accountable. But, you know, that is very true. We have to pay attention to detail. You know, and like I said, you're right. You know, like my mom's always say, pay attention to detail, so I get that from her. So if it was up to me, I'd probably be all over the place, but that's where I get that from, paying attention to detail.
And you had training in, was it Watford City?
Yes, Watford City, yes.
And how did that go?
It went very well. I mean, that was a very nice experience, a chance to kind of get out get the guys involved, and just a small knit community was just us. It wasn't anything around. Guys didn't have a lot of distractions. It was just football 24/7. That's a good way to break in, especially get a lot of rookies, get them focused on the right things. And even with the veterans who have been off for so long, it was just a great environment.
Do you have a lot of rookies this year?
We do have a lot of, not a whole lot of rookies, but we have a good amount as compared to, with COVID happening, there were some older guys that were the veterans that, okay, maybe I have to look at something else just because of life situation. Sure. So now you did get a couple more younger guys, and we got to teach them this game. So, normally we'd probably have probably a little less, but it is what it is. We got to make it happen. So
how was recruiting for those new ones?
It was actually, it wasn't as hard as you thought it would be, just because a lot of the guys did not have opportunities because of with COVID and the pro days and college situations. They didn't do those, so a lot of guys didn't get the looks that they were supposed to get. So now they're looking to get that opportunity. So this year was a little bit easier because there's a lot of hungry guys out there.
Cool.
Oh, I bet, because they had a season off. And you know what I love about indoor football is it's so up close and personal.
Very, very. And just like we're sitting right here, there's a field right here. So we always have a saying, you can keep the football, but if a player comes over the wall, you got to throw him back because we need him. So that's how that goes.
Yeah, you don't fight with the guy with the helmet and pads, right? Like, here, you can have your football. It's not like grabbing that baseball.
Right,
so for our viewers, can you explain the difference between the regular football field and the indoor field?
Yes, ma'am. When you look at arena football and indoor football, basically you can put one arena field on an outdoor field, just 4 of those. So you put 4 fields on one outdoor field. So it's definitely smaller, and we actually play on a hockey rink. So when you look at it, that's the actual size of our playing field. They just put the turf on top of a hockey rink. So that's the actual size you get. So you know how fast hockey is?
Yes.
Now this is just football with the same speed. So it's very fast, very condensed. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. So it's a lot of fast-paced and hard-hitting action.
It just makes it twice as exciting, I think.
Yes, it does.
I think so, too. Yeah, and the crowd has a lot of fun.
Yes.
I don't know how much you're focused on the crowd because you have so much you have to worry about during the game. But the crowd, the fans, have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely entertainment for the fans, and that's why I think a lot of people like this game. And when you come once, you become a fan because, like you said, you're close to the action. There's a lot going on, a lot of giveaways, and kids just love it. So I know once you come once, you'll be a fan.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Right, and you get to know the players, too.
Yep, that's all part of it. After the game, it's mandatory. We do autograph session. We can take pictures with kids. We have adults that want autographs. So it's part of giving back to the community. And that's what this game is all about. And that's why I love arena football, because it's about the people and getting close to fans and having enjoyment.
So do you have a busy schedule this year?
We'll stay busy. We got 16 games and you got things during the week, but you always find time for your fans. So like I said, we do different things because we want to get the word out there. We want to get people to come enjoy us because we are a community team and we want the community to be involved. So we definitely get out and do what we can.
Awesome.
Well, you often, I don't know if you have anything planned yet for this year, but I know you often go into the community and you've talked at schools, right?
Yes. We go to schools and different things. This year is maybe a little bit different because of the COVID situation.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll go to schools, we'll go to Rotary clubs, we go to help at the soup kitchen. We do all kind of different events that get us into the community. So we'll try to do as much as we can that's allowed to do us for this year.
And where do you recruit from? Where do your players come from?
We're all over the place. We're all over the United States. We have agents that we deal with, that we do for pass. Some players that we know refer other players, their friends. But, we got players probably from, I would say, 12 different states that are here on this team this year.
And we had you on once before, and not everybody necessarily saw that show. You've coached in a lot of different places, right? Even another country.
Yes, I've been around a long time. This will be my 23rd season. I've also coached over in China. I've been over there 4 times, so I was part of a group that introduced American football over to China, so that was a very good experience. I wouldn't change anything for it. I wouldn't live in China full time because it's a little bit different, but to go over there and teach the game of football and see the smile, the same thing, the smile on those kids' faces when they're learning something different, those are things you can't replace, and those are memories that you'll keep forever.
Isn't that funny, though? Coaching football in China.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Yes, it was. It was a very good experience.
And you're also, if somebody wants to learn more about you, there's the Coaches Show on Beck, right?
That is correct. We have a Coaches Show. That show's in there, and that's actually for our first year just starting that. I think the first episode yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm so busy, so many different things going on.
Well,
I can't tell you the exact time.
It's on tonight at 7, and you are going to be too busy to even watch it. So you're going to have to get the replay.
I would think so.
I'm gonna try to catch a peek somehow, though.
Right, just to see how you did. And,
yes, ma'am.
Beck.news.
Yes, ma'am.
One thing I love about you is you seem like you're having so much fun doing this.
Oh, it is. I love what I do. I don't even call it. When you wake up in the morning and enjoy what you do, it's not work to me. It's just having fun. And like I always joke with the guys, I used to play football. I'm old and retired now, so I tell them, you wake up with the pain and the injury. I just wake up and enjoy it. So that's the good part of it. Now I don't wake up sore anymore with pain, but I just love the game. I love teaching these guys and teaching the next generation football. That's what it's all about.
And tell us about indoor football, because you're part of the biggest indoor football league, right? There's more than one?
Yes, there's more than one, but right now we are the highest level of indoor football, and we're the third highest level of football behind the NFL and the Canadian Football League. The IFL is the number 3 rated league of football. So that's why we're getting a lot of talented guys that are coming for the opportunity to try to move up, because right now we're the next highest league outside of those two.
So do people in the IFL sometimes move up?
Yes, they do. You get guys that move up to Canada, a couple guys went to the NFL. Yeah, so, just guys want the opportunity. It's not guaranteed, but just want the opportunity to get a look. And I think that's what's good this year. And with the games being broadcast this year and being away for a while, there's going to be a lot of spotlight on some of these players, and that's why they're excited to play.
And I know kids that are in sports, and even if they're not, it's just fun. I mean, we don't have to play a sport to enjoy watching it.
Yeah, and you come on, like I said, it's a family enjoyment. There's a lot of different things going on just besides the game. And I think when families can come, relax, have a good time. Everybody's been in the house and built up for so long. That's why I'm excited to get going again, to get people back out and having fun again. And I think this would be a good way to do it, have people come to a game, enjoy themselves, go home and say, hey, I had a good time, tell their friends, and then we get more people the next game.
And this time of the year, what else are you going to do? You're not going to, it's too cold to be out on a boat most of the time. And it's just fun. We're always looking for things to do. And it's grab some friends and neighbors and
looks like a good Mother's Day date. It's the day before Mother's Day.
Bring your mom. Could be some surprises to bring moms. Yeah, we may have something for mom. I'm not saying what, but we could have some surprises. But
it's
definitely good. And I'll tell you this, just from history, a lot of people think football is a man's sport, but throughout the years, some of the biggest groups of fans we have been women on women's nights and ladies' nights out. They've been out and they come out and have a good time. They do serve drinks, so people do have a good time.
We know how to have fun.
So we can go and have fun too.
That's
yeah,
right.
definitely. Well, boy, I wish you well. I can't wait to hear how you guys do.
Thank you.
Hope you just kill them this weekend.
I
and
do
then
too.
Remember, May 8th is it's our opening game, home game.
Yes.
Opening home season game. Bring the kids. They get in free.
Yes, they do. Yep. We distributed 20,000 masks to the immediate area and out the mid here. So any kid that wears a mask to the game will get free admittance to general admittance to our game. So that was another part we want to do to give back to the community with ourselves, Beck as an organization, as well as Sanford Power. We doing that together as a joint venture to do that. So I was very proud of that. I actually just got a message from a lady that we dealt with last year that's out in Dickinson that thanked us for giving masks to her kids' school out in Dickinson. So we're getting the message out there. Like I said, we want fans from all across the state. We want to be the state's team, not just Bismarck's.
Right, so join us. We're going to be there, so you get to meet the football players, and we'll say hi too. Thanks so much. Good luck on everything.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back with Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Deciding how to promote your business can be hard. Visit the professionals at Dakota Promotions and Printing and let them help you through your struggle. Dakota Promotions provides promotional items and apparel from corporate gifts to team shirts and everything in between. With quick turnaround times and friendly service, they are your best choice. And best yet, you're shopping local. Visit them online at dakotapromo.com or stop in their showroom at 320 West Main in Mandan. Dakota Promotions, delivering promotions just for you.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Arrow Service Team does it all.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
I'm Rick Becker from No Apologies. Welcome to your after hours oasis of sanity.
How can these people not see that they're just clowns?
We help simplify and educate you on things going on in the legislature and around the country.
Asking the hard-hitting questions.
But also having Lee Stack and Sid and Marty Croft stuff, and we've talked about that sometimes. It's bad.
Watch us weeknights at 9 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Back for the lighter side, but I think it's been pretty light. You know,
oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, lawn and garden and Bucks football.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any lighter than that. But before we move into the lighter stuff, I just wanted to make mention that Governor Burgum signed into, he announced today that he's going to lift the COVID restrictions April 30th in North Dakota.
Only a year too late.
And then, right, but then he also sign into law that there won't be these emergency measures anymore, that they can't mandate.
I don't know what he has signed. I know things that were held up and not delivered, and some things were delivered later on, and I don't know what the process is right now.
One thing he has signed and made it law that you can post the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
However, there's a group in Wisconsin just waiting for that to happen, and then they're going to sue. But this is the lighter side. I just wanted to say that's on the horizons, and we'll see. I think they've issued us a dare, but
that's how it goes.
Yeah,
we'll see. Come at us.
That's how it goes. But anyways, I feel like we're moving in a good direction.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
yay
right.
For the
North Dakota's like, here, hold my beer.
Yeah. We're gonna believe in what we stand for, and we're not afraid of the 10 Commandments. But we're gonna move into something that I hope will make you laugh. It's the dads of Target.
And one day, everything changed. I'm sitting in the car, it's been 63 minutes, I'm furious, and then there's this knock on the window.
Hey, got some new jerky. You want to try some?
Charlie's beef jerky. Yeah, that was honestly the start of our friendship.
You know, it didn't happen all at once.
Honestly, I don't remember how it started.
Penn came along, and then this Miles guy started parking closer to us, and then eventually, the group was just formed.
What do we do here? Well, we toss the ball around, we play some cards, a little gambling. We have supper if it gets late enough.
When Miles brought his grill, it changed everything.
So, got your standard grill set up that everyone has. We got the coffee over here. We got the beans about to go there. Brats on the grill. It's lunchtime.
One summer, we did a series of car washes, and we actually raised enough money to put a big screen in the back of Penn's van. TV. If you see another guy waiting for his wife, just offer him some beef jerky. Let him know you're down to hang.
Your best friend may be just 2 cars away.
We have so much in common. We all have wives, and they're all in there somewhere.
My name is Miles.
My name is Penn.
My name is Charlie.
My name is Taylor, and I am a Target husband.
And I'm a Target husband.
And I am a Target husband.
And I'm a Target husband.
I thought you said we weren't going to cry today. My poor husband could never be a Target husband because he will never leave the house to go shopping with me in the first place. So he would never be able to meet all those fun people.
Right. Well, no, it's satire. Though they really are not meeting in parking lots. And I'll post the whole video on our Ladies of Another View Facebook page because there was about 4 minutes of it. So I took the beginning and the end. And it's funny because they have a whole part about child care, how they handle child care, because they've been left with the kids. So what they decided to do is, so one dad, they rotate, one dad's in the car watching the kids, but what they realized is they could do it remotely. And so they just look to make sure the kids are okay, and then they flash to these kids jumping all over the car and screaming. Of course it's not real, but it's so hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. I mean, you use those little remote screens. What do they call them? Child monitors?
Yeah. Right.
And I'm assuming that's what you mean
yes.
that they used?
Yeah, the child monitors.
Oh my gosh. It's like, you know, you want to take those to a vacation spot or whatever so the kids can nap and you can be out sitting in the lawn chair, but didn't expect it in the Target parking lot.
For these unattended husbands.
Yeah. Unattended husbands.
But they're doing it so the kids are all in one car and they're watching their kids while they have poker games going on. I mean, obviously it's a joke. And the guy's named Dude Dad, and he just actually had his third child, and he makes little videos. He has a Facebook page, and he does it just for fun. I imagine he must be monetizing it in some way. Because
several of them are comedians.
Yes.
What's the name of the guy with the gray hair? I've seen his stuff. He does a lot of musicals, the songs.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
Man.
He's got a whole bit.
The brat songs and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, his name is Taylor Calmus, C-A-L-M-U-S, but he does it just for fun, and he's a father of 3. So
Good job.
They should have fun.
Do
good.
something you love and the money will follow.
So we have less than a minute, and that went by fast.
Absolutely it did.
What a jam-packed day, though. I mean, we kind of ran the gamut of good news instead of, you know, cloudy stuff.
Yeah, even the job situation is good news. We got jobs out there, right?
Yeah.
And we need to get one.
Yeah.
In IT, if you have a job for IT, give us a call. We'd like to hear from you. So join us again tomorrow with Ladies of Another View on Beck. And yeah, coming up next is Down the Road with Joel Highcamp. So if you don't like what we said, you might like what he says.